How's it going, guys? It's your boy Xeno guys here. We're back, of course, with another video. Basically, I just finished just now, of course, you know the vibes, Dead Space. Now, if you guys don't know, Dead Space came out recently, just today. I got a copy early around like 3 o'clock, and I just kind of like, not, well, when I got home, I basically started playing around around 4 o'clock, and basically I beat the game. Just played straight through. I would definitely say for this Dead Space remake, I do give it a 10 out of 10. And many reasons, just because it basically is the first Dead Space, and like I said, I played Dead Space way back, and it kind of is more of like a memory reminded because, you know, when you're a person who played Dead Space, that was more in the 360 era, and I was a little kid, so when I played it, I was scared, kind of shitless, and I didn't really understand the point of the story. But playing the remake, comparing it from the original to the remake, this is probably better than the original. I'm just gonna be honest, not to be just a biased person because it's newer. It's just the original was just basically of the time we had in technology to what we have now, where we make the gaming even better. Not only that the game is a remake of what they did, they add some minor changes to the remake, such as Isaac talks in the first game. If you already know, in Dead Space 2 and 3, Isaac does talk, but he never talked in Dead Space 1 just because at the time they really wasn't working towards it. And the cool thing about it is the person who talked in Dead Space 2 and 3, the voice actor, actually said, "Let me hit me up," and he did Dead Space 1 at remake basically as the voice actor, and he added a bit more areas and designs. Now I would definitely say that if you play Dead Space, it is one hell of a jump scare intense game. Basically, it's tension with it being dark. You hear the sound effects, the background noises, the screaming, the crackling of the monsters, and all that. And the monsters design is really top notch on the remake. I think they basically implemented what they took in the first when the game came out way back, and they just made it even better to make it more scary. Now, basically, I know, like I said, that this game is out and everybody's enjoying it. It is a very good experience, and I was telling myself too, and I was telling one of my friends that, to me, I beat the game, and I think for me, as experiencing the game, it is such a great thing. I do say that I really would appreciate maybe, hopefully, a Dead Space 2 or 3 remake eventually. More 2, even though 3, like I said, 3 has mixed emotions, because I think 3, I gave 3, when I first played on 360, I kind of gave it more of like a 7.5 to an 8, but it still is a solid game, though. It just took a little bit from the horror aspects of Dead Space 1 and 2, how scary Dead Space 1 and 2 is. EA did their best. EA did amazing. Shout out to first EA publishing it, and shout out to Motive Studios, who basically put their hard-earned work for like doing what they did for this game. It definitely lives up to the hype, and please trust me, people who say, oh, that if people could be a hype artist, no, guys, Dead Space remake is definitely worth it, and it's actually, to my opinion, I find it way more better than the first one, just because it makes it feel more tense, and it gives it whatever that they noticed what people want in a horror game. That one thing I could definitely say is that Dead Space remake really does feel like a Resident Evil remake, but better, but very much better. Why I say that is that Dead Space takes all the aspects of what the original did, but just added a minor, more newer things into the game, like Isaac talks in the first one, add more areas to explore, make the monsters do more, change up the weapons and how they work, the designs of the weapons, make them more unique and more fun to use. Um, Definitely say that the time span that you grind and you play is something that you really have to decide and how you choose from, because it's so much you do and explore. Like, it is such a great game, though. I do recommend, like, if you don't want to pay the $7 for the game if you already played it, I do understand that, just because it's simple standpoint that, you know, it's a game that you already played. But if you want to re-experience it, I'm telling you right now, I do recommend the experience 10 out of 10. Like, it's such a cool way to come back, especially for new players who never played Dead Space. This is a great way to enjoy the game, because it brings you to a new modernized. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, I don't want to go back to like the old 360 quality game, or play it on the PC and the quality just feels so outdated and the mechanics feel so outdated. But now we know that we got the remake, it basically brings back the life of the game and what the game was supposed to probably be. But now we have the technology that we have now, makes the game even 10 times even better. I do say that for right now, they are getting a W. Of course, on Metacritic, they got a 90. The user score reviews hasn't, you know, came out yet, but I do expect the user score to be very much high and probably most likely be around the 8 to 9, guaranteed. It's very good. It's a very, very good game. I really recommend the time I played on it. Really, I think I really say I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. I would definitely say that in terms of scare, when I was a kid, I was definitely scared out. But knowing that I'm older and I kind of am more used to horror games in a way, the scariness, I still give it a good. I still give the scare a 10 out of 10, just because it's not only what they did about the scare of the monsters, they made it more tension to the point that you're basically afraid of everything. In some scenes, if you're a person who's scared of the dark, it puts you in a lot of scenes in the dark where they force you to like to the dark. Especially there's new mechanical module. You basically have like a power surge supply area, like a power control, and you basically have an option which is like either 2 bars or 1 bar, and some of them might only have 1 bar, some of them have 2 bars, but you could do both. But some of them might have 1 bar. You could choose between electric, which is basically the power. You could choose the doors or the elevators, and you have to choose either one of those or two of those that work. But here's the thing: when you sacrifice something, it lets you go further. So you have to sometimes sacrifice your light. And a lot of people who play games hate the dark in the game, because I feel like when you play in the light a lot in the games, you're not scared. In the dark, more people are more scared just because it's more tension. You're more claustrophobic because you're more closed into just yourself in the dark and the flashlight, not seeing your surroundings, and you're just in the dark hearing noises. The game experience is definitely more scarier when you wear headphones, because when you wear headphones, you hear everything, especially when you have the 3D audio on the PS5 and stuff like that. You absolutely hear the back of you, the side of you, the right of you, and in front of you, and all around. You hear especially noises that's not even there. Like, you could be down a hallway and you're hearing like the creatures thinking they're behind you. Like, you hear them yelling, how they'll make noises of coming at you. You'll be running, like walking basically, and then you hear them, and but then you turn around, nobody's there. So you're just expecting like, holy shit, there's nobody there, and you're petrified because then you think you're gonna get jump scared. So every moment you're walking in the game, you're just thinking, when is it gonna happen? And it actually happens when you don't least expect it, just because you're playing and you're focusing doing an objective, and then I don't know, bam, you're getting a jump scare, or you're gonna get attacked out of nowhere and you're gonna get jumped and you have to defend yourself. Now this game does support a difficulty option, which is basically story. They have a story mode, they have a easy mode, they have a medium mode, I have a hard mode, and they have an impossible, which is basically, I think if you get hit once, it's like kind of like Give Me God of War from God of War Ragnarok and stuff like that. It's really just, of course, if you get hit, you get hit once, and if you get hit again, you're dead. Kind of like that. Um, the upgrading for your gear is very cool. It's amazing. I love how they just gave you the gear support. But like I said, guys, I hope you guys do like this little review that I gave about Dead Space Remake. I do 100% recommend it to anybody who is new. And if you are an OG player that did play Dead Space back in your time, it is a very much a decision. But I would say coming back to this game brought back a lot of memories, and it made my experience even more better than when I first played it. When I first played Dead Space back on the 360 and the PS3 and all that. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you got Dead Space in the comments below. If you did, please tell me your experience and how you personally feel about Dead Space. For me, an overall review of just giving me my own opinion about Dead Space, I do give Dead Space Remake a 10 out of 10. Not because of what it did in the past. They did what they did in the past, but just made the future of today made it better, and actually more of a better experience for Dead Space. Just the first game. Like I said, for EA and Motive out there, I really hope that you decide to make Dead Space 2 remake. Maybe you might not do it now, but it is something to look towards to, knowing that the game is getting great reviews and great sales. It'll be perfect to give Dead Space 2 a remake so people can rebuild that life, and just whatever you did in Dead Space 1, how you did in Dead Space 1, involve it in Dead Space 2, and trust me, people are gonna love it. Yeah, it's a remake. Yeah, it's the price what it is. But at the end of the day, you're getting your experience, and you're getting a choice of what you personally prefer that you want to play and buy and have a great enjoyment in your video game. Like I said, guys, like, subscribe. Have a blessed day, and goodbye.